Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Halal Times YouTube channel. Are you an Islamic finance industry professional? If yes, how do you keep yourself abreast of all the latest concepts and innovative technologies being introduced in the profession? How does your organization set professional standards to drive the next phase of Islamic finance human capital development? The Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals in Kuala Lumpur has been addressing these issues since 2015. Today, we invited Dr. Azura Othman, the Chief Executive Officer of the Institute, to get her perspective on these and related matters. She's a graduate of the London School of Economics and pursued her Ph.D. degree in Islamic Finance from INCEIF, Kuala Lumpur. And of course, she is no stranger to the rank and file of the Islamic banking industry professionals all over the world. So let's talk to her. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Azura Othman. It's a pleasure to have you on our show. Could you please let us know a bit about yourself and the professional assignments you've been working on for more than 25 years now?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so much to Halal Times for inviting me to speak today. To answer your question, I would start by saying that I'm actually qualified as a chartered accountant. I started my career as an accountant, working in an accounting firm, specializing in tax. So initially, I was doing compliance work, and as I progressed, I moved on to doing advisory and consulting. And as I moved to another accounting firm in PricewaterhouseCoopers, I was put in the financial services industry group. So that's how it all started. So I dealt a lot with banks, insurance company, unit trust, fund management, and eventually we started to have a lot of Islamic financial institutions as clients as well, which has been added to my portfolio. So that's how it started in terms of my Islamic finance journey. So it all started with being a tax consultant to all these clients. And as I was given more portfolio of clients in Islamic financial services, and one of it being one of the major ones being the first takaful company that the accounting firms has, which basically I need to educate the rest of my team in terms of what is takaful and Islamic finance. And some of the major assignments that have been involved in, for example, making representations on behalf of the clients to the Ministry of Finance on the issues in the Islamic finance industry. For example, issues in takaful, issues in REIT, real estate investment trust, and application of tax incentives for them. One of the major assignments that I had was the one that PwC worked with Bank Negara Malaysia when Malaysia was establishing MIFC. If you recall, they were an initiative back in the early 2000s for Malaysia to become the Malaysian International Center for Islamic Finance. So we basically worked with Bank Negara in terms of coming up with the tax incentive for Malaysia in order to spur Islamic finance industry in Malaysia. So that's the starting point for Malaysia to become the financial center for Islamic finance. So as part of my career development, I requested to further my studies in Islamic finance because as I did the work, I find that it is a really big interest in me. I guess it's because of I've been doing financial services, and to put the Islamic element into it is kind of interesting because it jives into my own personal belief as a Muslim. So I wanted to learn more about it. So I took up the Chartered Islamic Finance Professional Program from INCEIF. INCEIF is an establishment set up by Bank Negara Malaysia for to develop human talents in Islamic finance. And after that, I went on to do my PhD in Islamic finance as my interest grew. So I left work to complete my PhD, but Alhamdulillah, subsequently, I was offered to helm an organization, which is the Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professional, which is a professional body set up for Islamic finance practitioners. And at the same time, I was offered to sit on the board of an Islamic financial institutions. So I would say from then onwards, my work has been more on Islamic finance rather than tax, because basically what we did in Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professional is to develop a professional body. And one of the tasks that I had to do initially was to transform the organization from an association to a company limited by guarantee, and basically to expand the institution to become a global professional body, which is what we are still currently working on. And the other major things that I did during that time was also to see through the signing of an industry charter for Islamic finance. So basically, the industry charter is a charter signed by our organization, the Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals, together with 3 industry associations in Malaysia, which is the Association of Islamic Banking Institution Malaysia, Malaysian Takaful Association, and also Malaysian Investment Banking Association, to where we are right now. So basically, that has been, very briefly, in summary, the assignments and work that I've done in Islamic finance, throughout my career.
How does the Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professionals help the industry experts?
Firstly, let me tell you a bit about what the institute is. Chartered Institute of Islamic Finance Professional, or in short, I call it CIIF, because it's rather a long word. So basically, CIIF was set up as a professional body for Islamic finance practitioners. So if you are from the accounting profession or engineers, you're should be very genius. So basically, people who wants to practice needs to be qualified as a chartered accountant, as a chartered engineer, before you can sign up reports and such thing. So basically, the idea of CIIF is also to eventually be that professional body where Islamic finance practitioners need to be professionally qualified in order to practice and to sign off on accounts and records and reports and so on and so forth to central banks. But of course, it's still in the works because we are still a 7-year-old body. We are still newly established, and we're still working on that. So what CIIF provides, basically a career pathway for students, for young talents. We provide the professional qualification for them to progress further if they want to go into Islamic finance industry. So for current practitioners, so if you're working in a bank and you want to scale up in terms of your qualification to get a professional qualification, we provide the professional pathway for you. So what CIIF does is we provide professional qualifications, which sets the benchmark for what a qualified Islamic finance professional is. So basically what we were trying to do is to safeguard the quality of practitioners who practice Islamic finance. So eventually we want to ensure that those who practice Islamic finance know that what Islamic finance is about, in philosophy and in principle. And what we do is we offer programs that covers a comprehensive knowledge of Islamic finance. So the program doesn't just cover banking, we also cover takaful, capital markets, legal, Sharia, accounting, audit, compliance, so a whole spectrum. So it's a 4-level program which covers a lot of areas. So what we intend to come out with is someone, a qualified professional who knows or the whole spectrum of the whole financial services and economic system. And the syllabus for our program are vet through by technical reviewers who are practitioners and experts in their own field. So thereby what we're trying to do is to ensure that the syllabus that is being taught is relevant to the industry. So we always have feedback from the industry in terms of what is the current thing that's happening in the industry, so that those are the things that we can put into our syllabus. And eventually we are also going to expand this globally as well, in terms of putting in what is happening as well, in terms of what's the issues happening in global Islamic finance industry into our syllabus. But it's something which is in the work. So, and the syllabus will also be continually reviewed and enhance in order to keep up with times. As you know now, we are all into technology. So whether there's technology elements need to be put in there. So that's also something that we also looked into. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is once you are already a professional member, we also help in terms of their continuous professional development. So as a member of CIIF, you need to actually keep a certain CPD points. So you're actually encouraged to continually upgrade, upskill yourself with new knowledge. So this is where our organization will provide the CPD program, either within our own organization or in partnership with other training institutions, to provide the CPD program for our members so that they can continuously upgrade themselves in terms of knowledge in Islamic finance. And it's not just limited to Islamic finance, it could be on technology, economy, management, and so on and so forth. At the same time, as a professional body, we also provide a platform for networking. So as members, we always have events in which we invite members to come together. This is where they can interact, share ideas, and we also provide platform for members to share their experience with other members. So for example, we get members to go to universities to talk about what Islamic finance is about, what is working in a takaful company or Islamic bank like. So these are the things that we're trying to, that we provide for our members, networking and also sharing of knowledge among members. And also being a professional body, comprising of members, experts from the industry, we also provide a platform for new ideas to come up, for people to propagate or advocate certain new ideas. And if there are any issues that need to be brought up, is something that they can, members can do together as a body to bring up to the relevant authorities if there's anything that needs to be changed or policy changes that needs to be done if required. So these are essentially what CIIF aspire to be and is trying to do and is already currently doing for the Islamic finance practitioners.
Can professionals out of Malaysia also become your institute's members? And how many members do you have right now?
Definitely, because we are not restricting our membership to just Malaysians. In fact, organically, we already have members who are from overseas, simply because the CIIF was originally an association, as I mentioned earlier, and the association comprised of graduates from INCEIF who came from all over the world. So we do have, I believe, around 15 to 20% of our members coming from outside Malaysia. And anyone from anywhere around the world can just go into our website and apply online if they are interested to become members, and or even if they are interested to do our professional program. At the moment, we have nearly 1,200 members from all over the world, and we have different level of memberships, from student level, those who without experience but want to become our member and progress to become Islamic finance practitioners by doing our professional program. So we have about 300, nearly 400 of them. And the next level is we have associate members, which are those who are in the mid-level, in the progress of actually getting their professional membership. There are about 300 of them in that level. And we also have the full-fledged chartered membership, which is about nearly 600 of them. So, yes, to answer your question, anyone can become our member, even if they are outside Malaysia. And we do encourage, because eventually, as we aspire to be a professional global body, we need all these members to come together, and hopefully the platform for networking that I mentioned earlier can become a global platform.
What do you think is going to happen to Islamic finance industry over the next 5 years with the adoption of innovation and technology?
Definitely there will be. It's already happening, right? In terms of the change, there's with the incorporation of technology, the use of artificial intelligence, we already see the way of doing traditional, banking is slowly changing. So we seldom go to banks anymore. We do things online, and there are a lot of significant use of virtual methods, AI, and that sort of stuff. And of course, when you talk about technology, we are talking about a lot of knowledge, new knowledge to be learned, and also about money and resources in order to create the right competency for people to operate in a financial system that uses a lot of technology. So I guess what's going to happen to Islamic finance is they need to keep up. They need to, at the moment, I guess the perception is that Islamic finance is basically, like following, what's the conventional are doing. But I think we are getting there because especially when the financial system is something that goes parallel. So whatever happens in conventional have to happen in the Islamic as well. So what I think will happen is that we need more people who are conversant in technology in order to operate in an environment where a lot of technologies and strategies and technologies are being used. We already have robo-advisory, for example. We used to have people, Sharia scholar, to give advice. Now we have robots, something AI that can even do the job. But of course, somebody needs to operate that. So we need someone with that knowledge to do it. So what I think will have to happen is that Islamic finance professionals need to expand their breadth of competency beyond contract, structuring, and legal and Sharia. Of course, Sharia is an important element, but it needs to, how is it going to be implemented in the technology space? So there need to be a greater comprehension about the emerging technologies. One after another, new technologies come in. So sometimes you learn one thing and the next thing comes. So it's very fast. You need to keep with the pace. And of course, you need to have a good understanding of the macroeconomics as a whole. And of course, with this, we need a well-rounded Islamic finance professionals. And how do we do this? We need to get the talents to be developed in that space. So I guess this is where I think Islamic finance need to move in terms of equipping their people to become more technology savvy.
What do we need to do as industry professionals to strengthen the Islamic banking industry, not only in Malaysia, but the world over?
Okay, I think for anyone who has actually have a formal education in Islamic finance and Islamic economics like yourself, I'm sure you would agree that we need to realize that Islamic finance is not just about financing without riba. So it's about financial stability, it's about financial inclusion, social justice, solidarity. So the ultimate aim is basically for economic development for the Ummah. So how do we actually do that? We need to innovate. So basically, Sharia scholars need to understand the whole financial system, the whole economic system, and innovate more Sharia-based products. So again, how do we do that? We need to continually upgrade ourselves with new knowledge, new skills. And I think there need to be also more conversations among Islamic finance practitioners, among Sharia scholars, to have more collaborations, engagement among experts in order to come up with new products and how to elevate industry to the next level. And we have been talking about harmonization of Sharia rulings. So that is something that has been, been talked about for many years. Because when you talk about globalization, there need to be some kind of a common platform and understanding. And I think what is also needed is it's not just the Islamic banking industry. We also need to actually expand it to the whole spectrum of the economy. As you know, as I mentioned earlier, Islamic finance is not just about financing, about riba, without riba. It's also about the whole economy, the whole supply chain, and also how do we make at each step of the whole supply chain Sharia compliant. It's not just about financing, it's about how the way we do things, how we operate, the processes. So these are the bigger spectrum of Islamic finance need to be looked at. So I guess this is something which I think industry professionals need to realize. We need to basically we need to continue with whatever that we are doing in terms of Islamic banking industry. Again, to move to the next level, we need to look beyond in terms of when we do financing, it also have to achieve that financial inclusion. It's not just about profit, it's also about making everyone to be part of the financial system, also achieving financial stability, financing the right thing. Now there's a lot of talks about ESG, sustainability. So it's actually part and parcel of what we're doing in Islamic finance as well. So these are some of the things that that everyone, not just in Malaysia, needs to look at in order for to have a more meaningful Islamic finance industry globally. So that's in my view, that's one of the things that perhaps need to be looked at. We hope to provide some sort of assistance in terms of, like I mentioned, the CPD program, Continuous Professional Development Program, and also platform for people to basically come together and have conversations and discussions in order to have advocate ideas in order to make Islamic finance grow much bigger in the future.
How do you compare yourself with institutions like INCEIF, like International Islamic University, like other Islamic, like other institutions of Islamic finance learning in other parts of the world?
Thank you for the question, because it's also something which a lot of people ask me. What's the difference between CIIF and INCEIF? Okay, one big difference is that we are a professional body. We provide professional qualification, we confer the professional certification to practitioners, but we do not do training. Whereas all other organizations, all the international universities, INCEIFs, all other training institutions, they do provide training to the public or to anyone interested on Islamic finance. So for us, we are very focused and our mandate is very specific. So we are a professional body that confers professional qualification. We come up with the syllabus of what will be the benchmark of a professional qualification for Islamic finance, and we partner with training institutions to deliver the program to the members. And that's how we differentiate. That's how we are different from other organizations. I think the way we operate is similar to what other professional bodies are doing as well, because other professional bodies also, they confer the professional qualification, and training are normally provided by another institution. But in terms of the quality of the program and the relevancy of the syllabus will be taken care of by the professional body like ourselves. So that's what we are doing.
For example, if the person is sitting in a different part of the world, very far from where your institution is located in Kuala Lumpur, and they would like to become your member, what would you suggest to them? How could they benefit from your institution by becoming a member while sitting in a far-off place?
Okay, well, the use of technology helps. Because previously we used to have our events physical. You need to be present in Malaysia to come to our events, to listen to talks and seminars and so on and so forth. But basically one good thing that came out from the pandemic is that everyone moved to technology, and we moved from seminar to webinars. And by moving to webinars, we actually get more people, we enable more people to join. So we have people, we used to have members from overseas which says that, oh, I'm not in Malaysia, I can't attend your event unless I come to Malaysia. But now with webinars and technology, they can actually join the event online. So actually it's a good thing. And so for anyone from outside Malaysia, anywhere around the world who are interested to become our member, they can just come to our website and fill up a form. And if there's any question, they can always email to us and ask us. And they can and by being a member, they are eligible to join any of the events that we have planned. We have talks, we have discourses and webinars for members that they can join. And well, benefits is if they are interested in pursuing a career in Islamic finance, of course, having a qualification is going to be an added advantage, not to mention the knowledge that they gain. So they can, our program are offered on a self-study mode, meaning you don't need to be present to learn. We will provide you all the learning materials. Everything are all in publication, are all digitally done. And we have recordings of lectures that they can have access and learning materials. So they will have access to that. So they don't need to be physically in Malaysia. If they do need to have training, online trainings can be arranged. So these are some of the things that are available for people who are not physically present in Malaysia. We are going to open up the professional qualification overseas sometime this year. We will announce it. We are in the midst of, preparing in the towards the end stage of preparing the platform for people from overseas to do our professional program. We are also going to do our exams online. We are having an online examination system. Also, we are developing that. So basically, it's going to be easy for anyone who wants to join. And of course, the benefits is as what I mentioned. You are, by being a member, you are going to be professionally qualified, and of course, with the knowledge and with the fraternity of members in the Islamic finance industry, there's a platform for you to share knowledge, learn about how Islamic finance is done in Malaysia, in Pakistan, Indonesia, wherever our members are. So there's a opportunity for sharing of knowledge. And of course, inshallah, one day when our program are globally recognized, just like ACCA, CFA are globally recognized, there is also that added benefit that wherever you go, people will recognize the qualification that you have. And that also gives you global mobility in terms of your career anywhere in the world. So that is the benefit of being a member of CIIF.
Okay, right. Ms. Azura, I got another question, please. Let's imagine I'm an Islamic finance professional and I want to become your member. And being a member, do you think that it will help me progress in my career path, or how will I be able to monetize my membership with you guys?
Okay. Okay. Just like any professional qualification is actually giving you a premium in terms of yourself, marketability, in terms of employability. So that's what I see. For example, myself as a chartered accountant from ACCA. So people recognize the qualification and people will actually put a premium to it. For example, if you want to be a chairman of a board audit committee of a board of a company, you need to have a professional qualification in accountancy. So similarly, we hope in future that same premium is being placed on our qualification. But as I said, we are in that progress. We are not at ACCA yet, but we hope to move towards being that. And in terms of so I guess that's the monetizing it, meaning that if people recognize the qualification as having a premium, it is something that perhaps can help you in terms of employability, not just in the country or all over the world. We are actually, since you're asking, we are actually in the process of actually establishing a chapter in Pakistan, which I think where you are from. And once it is recognized, and it's something that, again, if people put value to someone who has that qualification, so hopefully one day if this is institutionalized into the financial institution, it will be a qualification that is required for you to, become, the top management in that particular organization, inshallah, one day. So do please pray that, one day we will get there so that we can elevate the Islamic finance profession. So I hope that answers your question.
Thanks so much, ma'am. I really appreciate the time you've taken to speak with me.
Thank you so much. I really enjoy talking to you. So thank you for the opportunity as well. So hopefully we'll speak again in future, inshallah.
Sure, definitely.
Okay.
Ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Stay safe. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam, ma'am. Thank you so much.